when you look at a map of the world, you see all the countries, the continents, the oceans, but there's another map, a kind of hidden one, that has a huge impact on our daily lives. And that's the world's economic map. It's this incredibly complex, tangled web that explains where just about everything comes from and why.
And here's the thing that's so fascinating. This map isn't just a random jumble. Not at all. There are deep, powerful reasons behind its structure. You know where industries pop up, how money flows around the globe, where the jobs are? It's all part of this one massive, intricate design.
I mean, just think about your day so far. The coffee you drank, the beans probably came from Colombia or Ethiopia. That phone you're probably holding, assembled in China for sure, but with parts from Korea, Japan, the US. The car you might drive, maybe it's from Germany or Japan. So why? What forces are out there deciding this global setup?
Well, the key to unlocking this whole puzzle is a field of study called economic geography. It's basically the science that looks at the where and the why of all this economic activity. Think of it as the rule book for that hidden map we were just talking about.
So at its very core, it's about how all our economic stuff, what we make, what we buy, how we trade, is spread out across the planet. And the really crucial part isn't just what's happening, but where it's happening.
Right. So scholars call this spatial variation, which sounds a little academic, I know, but it's a simple idea with huge consequences. It just means that where you are on this planet fundamentally shapes what you can make, what you can buy, and who you can trade with. It's all about location, location, location.
But I gotta say, I think this definition from R.E. Murphy really gets to the heart of it. Because at the end of the day, economic geography is about people. It's about the different ways we all make a living from place to place. It's about our jobs, our industries, and really how we survive.
So how do geographers even begin to make sense of all these differences around the world? Well, they start by breaking down all economic activity into three main categories, or sectors. And this gives us a really solid foundation for understanding how different economies are built.
And it follows a pretty logical path, right? First up, you have primary activities. This is anything that involves taking raw materials straight from the earth. So think farming, digging up coal, or fishing. Then you have secondary activities. This is where we take all those raw materials and turn them into finished products. Manufacturing. And finally, you've got tertiary activities, which are basically all the services that make the first two possible. Things like shipping, selling stuff in stores, and banking.
But here's the thing, just putting things into these neat little boxes is really only the beginning. Because our modern global economy is anything but simple and static. And because the economy is always changing, our understanding of it has had to change too. The whole field of economic geography has had to evolve, moving from just observing things to doing a much deeper, more complex analysis of what's really going on.
And this shift is so important. Back in the day, the focus was mostly descriptive. It was about cataloging what was made where and maybe linking it to stuff like climate or natural resources. But now the field asks why. It digs way deeper into the complex machinery of global capitalism, the massive role of technology, and even how culture and local politics shape economic results.
Okay, so what's the big takeaway here? Why does any of this actually matter to us? Well, because this way of thinking helps us connect the dots. It gives us this incredibly powerful lens to understand the biggest economic trends and challenges that are shaping our lives right now.
When you start to see the world through the lens of economic geography, you start to understand the deep roots of global inequality, why some places boom while others get left behind. You can see how new tech is shaking up entire industries. You get a handle on the insane complexity of global trade, and you can even start to see paths toward a more sustainable future. It's all connected.
So let's bring this all right back home. I want you to think about your own town or city. What are the big industries there? Why are they there and not somewhere else? How does the unique economic geography of your specific little spot on the map, its history, its resources, its connections, how does that shape your job, your community, and your everyday life? It's a question worth thinking about